Let me make sure she'll.
You're now tuned into Radical Radio with Coach L.
Switch my attitude. I'm so radical. 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 I'm so radical. I'm so radical.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Saved Bay, aka Tremayne Winn, aka Coach T, and I have a ministry called Slave Bible Ministry, where my misery and my pain is my ministry to women. What I do is I help women heal, be set free, forgive, walk in their kingdom purpose, heal from toxic relationships, break soul ties, and all the above. I'm here with you on your journey to purpose.
Hey guys, I'm Coach Tasha Delk. I help women who feel broken, who lack self-identity, and those who have low self-esteem. I help them to create an action plan to move forward with their healing to become their best selves. I am the owner and the CEO of Free Me Coaching, and this is where women break free to their true potential to become their most authentic selves. You can call me your identity coach. I desire for you to be bold, to be authentic, but most of all, to be you.
My name is Shonte Joseph, founder of She Wise. Our movement is to inspire women emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. God has called me to encourage women in faith, to identify self, to grow in forgiveness, and to break generational curses. To be a successful Christian woman, we must have wisdom each and every day. Our motto is Proverbs 4:5-13.
What's good, my radical people? This is LaDena Chisum, aka Coach L of the Radical Life brand, your spiritual life coach, helping you to become unapologetically bold and purposely authentic. I don't push dreams, I push purpose. Let's break some generational cycles.
Hello. Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Shonte. And welcome back to yet another episode of Kingdom Chics Reconstructed. How y'all feeling? I hope y'all feeling good.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Yes, so we're gonna go around and introduce ourselves. I'm gonna go first. My name is Shonte Joseph. I'm founder of She Wise, and what we do, we just help women with wisdom in Christ, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and we just make sure that we have that knowledge that we need to walk this Christ-like walk. Okay, all right.
Hey y'all, hey, it's Tremayne, aka Saved Bay on social media. I have a ministry called Slave Bible Ministries, where we help women heal, be set free, break free from toxic relationships, and walk in their kingdom purpose. Welcome.
Hey guys, I'm Coach Tasha Delk. I'm a realtor, speaker, coach, and author. I love to help women who feel broken as well as those who have low self-esteem. And I'm excited to be here today.
Yes.
What's good, my radical people? This is your girl, Coach L. I am a life coach and the creator of the Radical Radio podcast. So I would love for you guys to continue to join us each and every Monday. I am a life coach that is geared towards helping people become unapologetically bold and purposely authentic. I don't push dreams, I push purpose.
Period. And that's a period. Before we get started, I just want to give you guys our intros for Kingdom Chic Reconstructed. We are for the kingdom: men, women, young adults, seasoned saints, babes in Christ. We're just four kingdom chicks reconstructed by God to share our thoughts and perspectives on taboo topics that will provoke thoughts to edify the kingdom. Okay, so I'm really excited today, guys. I don't know about y'all, but we did a shift today with our topic. We want to talk about relationships, and sorry about that. We're building. Okay, this platform was built by God, and He is giving us more things that we can do with our audience to make sure that we expand. So we will have segments called Two Truths and a Lie, just so you guys can get to know us better, because we know that we're coming from different platforms, but we want to make sure that you get a better introduction of us. And also, we'll be having TikToks of the day, because if you on TikTok, you know that it's always something radical, if I can say, but radical, that always needs to be shed light, that somebody, it can bless somebody. Definitely, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about that, but we'll be starting that next week. So definitely stay tuned every week. But today our topic is relationships in the kingdom. Single women's wanting to be in relationships in the kingdom. So first of all, Coach L, I was really excited that you even like put that little splat in there, because we was coming in heavy.
Yeah. We was coming in heavy. Yeah.
We was.
We,
And
we
this
straight we fresh off of spiritual warfare. So
okay.
we're trying to lighten the mood. We don't want to scare y'all too much. We wanted to tone it down a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my face behind the scenes was like, wait a minute, y'all. We didn't talk about some things here now.
Listen.
But yeah. I'm learning, and I'm so grateful for my sisters in Christ, though. I'm so grateful for y'all. But
love
let's
y'all.
get into it. Let's get into it. I'm really excited. So first of all, I want to ask, so before being in relationships, because obviously, it's a bug in here. No, gotta go. Sorry, guys.
You should have listen. Next time, I need you to pull your Dominion card. I need you to say, "Bug, you don't belong here. You must go in the
exit vehicle stage left in Jesus'
You gotta
name.
go. I'm
pull your
right
Dominion
now.
card, sis."
In the name of Jesus, y'all gotta teach me. But I want to start off the conversation, because I think I learned this from LaDena, and it's to ask God for permission to do stuff. So like, as we talk about relationships, like, did you guys even think to ask God if it was time, or did you get your God's permission to even want to be in a relationship, or to even get permission to be in a relationship?
Ooh, coming in hot.
No.
I'm sorry.
Not before.
Not all of them, but with my marriage, I asked him. But before, heck no, like no, I was just like, I like him, he like me, we love each other, so we ain't gonna get together.
It wasn't good. It wasn't a good thing. To do that. But it's like with my husband, yes, it was all because I had to get to a place to where when I was dating, I had to get to a place where I was just like, look, I can't do this. This ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna have to focus on my kids, God, and just, my business. I don't even want to date nobody. And so that's kind of just like how I was for a while. And then when I met my husband, I was like, God, you can, I asked God, like, show me what I need to do, who I need to be the woman that I need to be for this man. So it's like once that started happening, I started changing things about me. That's when I knew it was real. So, and then not only that, just I didn't feel any like no hurt, like nothing. There weren't really like any red flags. I know a lot of times we date people and we choose to like wave off the red flags.
Stevie Wonder. That was my name.
Yeah, so that was something for me that I'm like, I'm not ignoring no red flags. I'm not doing none of that this time around. like, but then God started to shift my mindset about things. So, hey, Tony.
Yes. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Tony. Oh, I'm talking about hey, Tony. Hey, Apostle. How are you? That's my dad, guys. My spiritual father.
Hey.
um,
Welcome.
listen, they real good, y'all. I'm just keeping a buck. Nope. I'll tell you what I did do though. I don't.
Lord Jesus.
I didn't ask God for permission. At the time that I got married, I wasn't mature enough spiritually to know to ask for permission. But what I was doing, instead of asking for permission, I was making sure that I understood what scripture said about what a wife should be. And y'all, I really thought that I had every base covered and that I was that chick. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you right now.
In my business.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it's so much to learn about being a wife. You cannot just read no scriptures and be like, bada bing, bada boom, I got it.
Okay.
Absolutely not. So
tell them again, sis.
Don't get it twisted. We cannot be acting like we're wifey material. See, society again has done us an injustice because we've caught on to the cliche. Yeah, I'm wifey material. I'm wifey type. I'm this, I'm that. As women, and I can only speak for myself. Let me say, as a woman, I felt like I had everything that I needed to be a wife.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God was like,
that's real.
That's a lie from the
Let me show you something. Let me humble yourself.
Look in this mirror because you ain't got that. And then look in this mirror again because you got to work on that. So no,
yes.
I wasn't mature enough to ask for permission, and I didn't know what the heck I had got myself into.
For real.
But I think that's just like most women. My man, go ahead.
No, I was saying I was gonna piggyback off Coach L. Baby, I did ask God with my husband, and I did, spiritual mother at the time, we and stuff about it. But God did. I got married, then God showed me, girl, you thought you was operating like a wife. And still to this day, even today, just a transparent moment, he was like, yo, you have a nasty attitude. And you think you good, but when you get mad, it come out. So now you got to work on your character. And I was like, say what? Now I'm like, man, as soon as I beat one thing, I got to do another thing. So it's an ongoing process. And man, I love this topic. That's all I'm gonna say. So I asked him, and he's showing me. And listen, that's it. Listen.
Real talk. I don't know what. I guess, like you said, it's social media just make it look all pretty in a nice little ribbon bow. But baby, you really don't know.
Ain't no bow. Disneyland.
Okay. No, seriously. And as I was writing the questions for this particular topic, I'm like, dang, I asked God about Drees, but prior from that, like, no, I was doing what I wanted to do. Absolutely. And when you do what you want to do, then you end up being in your results, not God's results. So I'm just gonna throw that out there for those.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
I love the transparency today.
Yeah, but I think as women, we always believe that we are already in position to be a wife. And a lot of times it's like, I think that we just have this false perspective of what a wife really is. And then we think that we in these relationships, we think that just being you wifey material because you ride or die. Right. And that is not the case, because as a wife, or as a wife, you got to be able to set boundaries. And I think one of the things that I put, he said, you must get healed before moving on. What did it say? The last part?
You must get healed before moving on.
Absolutely.
That's so true.
And I don't think that enough people take enough time to get healed too. But a lot of times we just think that we're already ready because we have this ride or die mentality. And we think that that's all being a wife is. I'm down for you for whatever. And that's really a false narrative. And like, yes, as a wife, you got to be down to stick through whatever. But it's a totally different type of, I'm going to stick with you through this. It's a different type.
Yeah.
It's a different type.
I'm so glad you touched on that.
But let's talk. What Apostle just said. You must get healed before moving on to the next one. Let me tell y'all something. Hold on. We're gonna stop right there because let me tell you about Coach L. I'm healed. Okay, I'm healed. I took 5 years by myself, right? And I felt as if I had forgiven, I had healed, I was good to move forward. Mm-hmm. Not until I was in my marriage, okay? Not until I was in my marriage for at least 2 years did I realize that I hadn't healed from my previous relationship. And I'm going to say this, ladies, this is what I didn't know. I was in a relationship. I was in an abusive relationship for 12 years with my kid's father. So in my mind, I felt like that 5 years was enough. No, it wasn't enough. I needed double the time that I spent in that relationship to truly heal and unpack. I wasn't able to unpack everything within a 5-year period. So I actually took some things in my marriage. So you be thinking we healed, but you got to make sure that for real, you have been totally healed, set free, delivered with a T on the end.
That's a question to ask, That's a question you should ask when dating. Not what's your favorite color? Where do you like to go eat?
Right.
Are you delivered? Like now being in the marriage, I would ask, are you delivered? What did you get delivered from? What demons were you specifically bound by? Like that needs to be
generational curses.
Yes. And I should have asked myself, I'm with LaDena. Like I thought I was 18 months by myself, like, wasn't really having sex or anything. And I thought I was healed, and I was healed from certain relationships, but guess what? I wasn't healed from childhood trauma. And that surfaced in my marriage. Like that surfaced daddy issues, mom issues. Then you got to fight warfare already because you in a kingdom marriage. And then it's just a lot. It's a lot you have to work on for self before you even consider, because baby, the warfare, I'm just not, listen, that was last week. But it's something. Just ask the right questions. Just ask the right questions.
So while we're talking about asking the right questions, right? Because like what I do with my single friends now, I let them know, write down what you want in your spouse and be specific. The reason why I say that, because sometimes you got to analyze and be like, come on now, like, is this realistic? Can this be reasonable? And not only write this stuff down on what you want in your spouse, but write down your non-negotiables. Because a lot of us as women, we do not write down non-negotiables, and then we'll think like we'll know what we don't want to tolerate, but we end up tolerating and being in these toxic relationships. So what are some things that that women can do to prep themselves before even having the mindset of a person to like want to date, if that makes sense? Like what should they be doing? What should they be working on? What should they be writing? What should they be reading in that nature?
I'll say from my perspective, and I could tell you, I'm telling you from the example that I didn't have.
Gotcha.
I could say that. When it comes to dating, when it comes to, you looking for your person, like for me, I just wanted to make sure, does he believe in God? Is he saved? Right? Unequally yoked is a very detailed issue, right? You got to know, just because you're yoked, right? Equally yoked doesn't mean that you guys both just believe, right? Equally yoked means that you guys both are on the same page. You guys are in the same book, on the same chapter, that you guys want the same things, that you have the same realistic expectations of what family is and how you raise your children. And all of that is encompassed with you being equally yoked, right? So I say, when you're looking for your person, we get into the fact of looking for how they make you feel, what they can do for you, that they were there for you, during the hard times in your life. Yeah, all that's cute. But does he or she love God? Does he or she have a relationship with God? Is it strong? Was it built on a firm foundation? Are you going to have to, worry about, whether or not y'all can go to church or not, whether or not y'all praying together or not? Like, I didn't think about these things heavily in the beginning when I got married. You know what I'm saying? But now, as I've grown in my relationship with Christ, those things are extremely important to me now. So women, if you don't do that in the beginning, what you'll end up having to do is you'll have to, if your spouse or if you're not on the same page, you'll have to pray,
compromise.
a kingdom woman or a kingdom man, and pray your spouse through. And you'll have to do a lot of knee work. Coach L got knee work, okay? Big knee work.
Period.
Or you tend to compromise.
Yeah.
And
Compromise.
and compromising is way is so tough when you have to compromise when you know that this when you know that this person can never be, or they don't have the will in them to become the man that you desire them to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's kind of like, what do you do? What do you do then? But so for me, I would have to say is definitely um knowing what your morals are, knowing what things are really important to you. Like family is a core value of mine. Family and God, those are core values of mine. And I think that if a person doesn't have a sense of what family is, that person, even if you show them that, they're still going to have some sense of, they're not going to be relatable. I feel like if he don't
Mm-hmm.
love God, he can't love you.
He can't
But
love
that's,
you. True.
yeah, no, but that is real. If he can't, because he doesn't really understand what that agape love is. He doesn't
Exactly.
understand what love without conditions is. So, but for me, I definitely think something that I had to really reevaluate was definitely like we talked about, setting boundaries, making sure I had healthy boundaries set in place, and then also just making sure that I know what it is that I'm not accepting. And then also being able to communicate that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because I think a lot of times that in relationships, we have uncommunicated expectations. And then we
Yes.
get into these relationships where this person don't meet any of those expectations. And now you're like, well, I want a man that's like this, but he like, well, that ain't how I was when you met me. So why are you expecting these certain things? And just because you get married with someone, they don't turn into the husband that you want. They're the same person that they are.
Don't
Exactly.
marry potential. That's what they say.
Mm.
Marry them for who they are right now.
That
Yeah, but
part.
I also think too is like, if you have somebody that's working on that is doing the work as you see them, not just saying like, oh, this is where you potentially will be, but if I see you doing the work, because I'm not all the way 100, you know what I'm saying? I haven't always, like, not been like, because like LaDena said, some things that I thought I was healed from that came up into my relationship, that like, say for instance, I was I didn't like being dependent. I came from a relationship where I had to be dependent upon a man, and I was traumatized by the things that I had to experience through that relationship. So getting with my husband and having this independent woman where I don't have to, I want to do it all, or I can do it. I got it. But understanding that the man that I'm with, I don't have to do it all. I
Yeah.
can
Right.
I can lay that down. I can lay that independent woman. I can lay that down. I'm safe here.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding that where my safety lies and where it comes from, I think that was something that I had to overcome. And I mean, it's been an amazing thing, but that was something that I had experienced that
Yeah.
carried with me.
I like that. I like that. And you know what else that I want to add to that? I think it's a big deal to know what your love language is. because and not only know what your love language, be able to identify your partner's love language and what that looks like, because I have learned in the past that, you know, I have my love language, and how I, you know, how I receive that is different from how my husband receives that. And that's a big deal too, because you can feel hurt by giving that same thing, but they don't accept it in that way because they don't, you know, they don't, that's not their love language. That's not something that matters to them or what they desire. So I think that's a big thing too.
Now, I do want to say too, I know that that's another cliche. Apostle Tony just said it too. God can change anyone. One thing that I say, I know we say that a lot. We say don't fall in love with potential, but it's not always a bad thing when you fall in love with potential. Like Tasha was saying, it depends if people are really trying to.
Yeah, if they're trying to change.
If they're trying to do better, if they're trying to do things, in a certain way and trying to better themselves, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I do believe that we can't change a person. But if you seek God on behalf of that person, and God really truly knows your heart, and God knows that you guys are to be connected, He can change that person. So I will say that.
So it's potential failure is what you don't marry. Potential
there you
failure.
Go. Yeah.
I want to read that comment. She said dating takes. Brittany said, "Hey Brittany, dating takes a lot of discernment. When I was single, I read the book of Proverbs and prayed a lot. I wrote a vision of what I wanted, and God gave me what I needed."
Come on now.
Okay,
absolutely. That's real good. But also, even there was something that I had to write throughout my time with my husband. Was we had these books called Future Prayers, 31 Prayers for My Future Husband, 31 Prayers for My Future Wife.
I seen that.
And one of the things that we had to do was write out our fears, write out some fears, and just be realistic with what your fears are. And like one of my biggest fears was being in love or being in a marriage with a man that didn't love me back. Right. And so that was something that, but I had to overcome that. And once I shared that with him, that allowed me to be released from that, if that makes sense, released from that fear.
Yeah.
And so, but that was really good. And also too, I think that there was something that I wanted to say about Shonte, about what you said. I'm gonna have to come back to it. Y'all know how I do, but I'm gonna have to come back to it.
The love language.
Oh, love languages is because people tend to love people the way that they desire to be loved, and we have to understand that we can't force our love on them because of how we love. We have to make sure that we learn that person and pay attention to them and the things that, that how they receive love. Because even though you say, I'm loving you, I'm showing you, I'm giving you this, I'm doing that, but all they saying, but you don't spend no time with me. Because they're quality time, and now you're not. So the way that they reciprocate love and the way that they value or evaluate what love is to them is, totally opposite from the way that you're actually giving love to them.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Apostle said, listen, y'all, when I tell y'all they have the most amazing testimony and stories out of this world, like him and my co-apostle will tell you, like, he said he used to say that he never was going to get married. Like, everybody knew if they were talking about marriage that he always said that he would never get married. So what he said was he wasn't trying to change. He didn't even want a wife. He said, for God had a different plan for me. Here we are 23 years later. And when I tell you, like,
but God, yes,
like, you wouldn't be able to tell that, like, he ever had a thought of not wanting to get married the way that they are and the way they love on each other. But his testimony always helps me because he's really big. I remember he always used to tell me, love covers a multitude of sin. Love covers a multitude of sin. I used to hear him in my voice, like,
you speak nothing but the truth.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's good. And the other day, me and my husband, this is a jewel, but he told me this a long time ago, but he said that you got to be careful who says they love you and they say because if they say because after that if you stop doing that thing, The love doesn't
Yeah,
exist
love me.
anymore. So you got to be careful for that as a single woman that is looking to be married or trying to be or doing the courting and dating season. You got to be careful with that type of stuff because you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody that loves you because of something that you do.
Right.
Absolutely not.
That's
That's a
Yeah,
good.
red flag.
that's good.
That's a good one.
Yes. And
Absolutely. And there was, sorry, go ahead, Shonte.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There was this husband and wife that was having a conversation. They're leaders at a church that I've visited a few times here, and one of the conversations they were talking about was like if your husband if you marry your husband a certain way, they want you to remain that certain way throughout the marriage. And I felt, and so it was just kind of like shocking to me because
Wow.
it's just like I, after having kids, after, certain things, I mean, things change, you know what I'm saying? And whether that be, like your body, like basically like what they were talking about. And one of the comments that the husband made was, um, when I go around people, I don't want them to be like, dang, he married to her. I want them to, like, when they look at me right now, they be like, dang, you married to her. So that
Yeah.
the comment wasn't like he
No.
want you to stay the same way that I met you. You know what I'm saying? So I think like
Yeah.
even that is something that have to be communicated in the beginning as well, because people change, your bodies change. So many things about you change. We got things that could come up out of nowhere, your health, all these
Yes.
different type of things. And one more thing, sorry y'all, I know I'm talking a lot,
Speak.
but one more thing that I want to say is making sure that when we do get in relationships, making sure that your mate can cover you.
Mm.
And I think a lot of times we miss
Look
that.
at who
We
said
miss
who? I
that
heard somebody say
point.
who.
I think a lot of times we miss that point is because, but if you're on your deathbed and the person that you're with, can you trust them to cover you? Can you
That's
can
a good
you
one.
know that they will be able to cover you whatever happens? You know what I'm saying? No matter whatever
That's
you
so
might
true.
come up
That's
against.
good.
That's so true. And it's so crazy because it goes back to everything. Cause like we gonna be a vulnerable moment. I've been a single mother before being married. So I'm learning more and more what submission is and what that looks like. It's not a slavery type of mindset. It's a trust. I trust my husband because my husband is with God. So I trust and
Listen,
believe the things that God is putting in him, and that's who I'm going to be led by. That's who I'm going to follow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
everything goes back to God and how that relationship with God. You need to make sure your partner is in God. Oh, I'm
yeah.
Absolutely.
sorry. I was reading a comment. What do you wait? What? I'm sorry. What you do to get them, you have to continue to do it to keep them. I agree.
Amen.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I don't think, I think that I believe.
It's okay.
So I believe that I think that things change and seasons change, because I think there has to be sometimes my husband, like, okay, so I'll just use our situation for example. Right now I'm the one that's more so in more like I'm working in real estate. I'm doing all these different things. Whereas now he's having to be more of the back seat to take care of the things in the background. Whereas he's not just kind of, so I think that it made it, even though we started out together and we still do a lot of things together, but now I am in the building process, like, of our business. Like right now he's with the kids, I'm here in Tennessee, so we're separated, we're in separate places right now because of how we have to do some things right now. But I think that just because we started out doing things a certain way, how it was in the beginning, I think whatever works for your marriage and your person and that time and in that phase is what works. But now as far as like body size and body shape, I think that's superficial.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that's very superficial. And I think because of, if you love me, you love me in whatever way that I am. And
Yeah,
I love you in that, whether you lose a limb, whether you lose whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? I
Mhm.
just feel that it's very superficial to say because I met you in a size 8 you gotta stay in size 8 our entire marriage.
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
agree.
Sorry, y'all, that was loud, but
No,
yeah, I think that's very
spitting.
superficial to me, and I don't think it's yeah, I don't think it's godly.
Well, that goes
Mm.
to like, some men, and because I've heard this before, I've heard men literally like want to look at a female's mom to see how the mom is shaped or see how the mom is to make a determination if they would be wanting to be with that person to kind of, I guess, visualize how they would be at that age. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah, that isn't what I think what Apostle was saying. Like, if you court them in the beginning and you're dating and you're treating them this, a certain way in the beginning, you have to continue to do that. I think that's what he
Yeah.
meant.
Don't lose interest.
Yeah,
Don't lose.
I got that part. But
Oh,
That's what
okay,
I
yeah,
thought it
I
meant.
get that. I get that.
yeah, so
Okay.
in respect to men, like, I just feel like that's, like you said, Tasha, I feel like that's superficial. You see my mom and you're looking at my mom. If my mom can have a Coke bottle shape and I still gain weight, that don't mean that just,
Yeah,
what
that's
I mean?
true.
Like, again, some of the stuff that men do are just very superficial and
Crazy.
you know
Crazy. Yeah.
I felt this in the spirit that we probably should do something like this, but with the men's perspective as well. Because if this is a platform for men and women, then
things.
we can only talk about a woman's perspective and how that looks for us.
True.
And a man may be saying something else, especially a kingdom man. So I don't know. Maybe we could work that out later on.
A
I don't know.
split panel of believers and
Yeah,
the worldly people.
What is
definitely.
Maxie back there doing? Your question.
What
What
do
do you
you
do if
do?
you?
Oh, sorry. What do you do if you grow faster in Christ than your partner? Ooh. Y'all see, y'all can't answer. I'm learning still.
I think
Go for
I've
it.
I've dated. This is before my marriage, right?
Uh-huh.
I dated a guy where I was the saved one, and I was pulling him to church with me. That's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
work. I'm just saying. That's vice versa. If you a man and you gotta pull her to church and she not already in relationship with God or not attempting to try to get to know God or build a relationship, I don't feel like it's gonna work. That's just me, in my
I
opinion.
agree.
I definitely think that the man should be rooted in God completely. Um, just even for the marriage to be how God would want it to be, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. I don't think I'm saying it right. That's just my opinion. That's all
Coach
I got.
L.
Now we're talking about dating. So if
Mm-hmm.
we're not talking about
Oh, date. Oh, okay. Because we was talking about
dating.
marriage. Oh, okay.
So, like,
Dating,
I don't
it
want
ain't gonna work.
I don't want to get it misconstrued with what you do. That's
Yes.
why I said, I can talk about certain things
Yeah,
as far as, marriage, but dating, what do you
dating.
do if you grow faster in Christ than your partner?
It's not
If
gonna work.
I'm dating, if I'm dating, I'm not going to be with anybody that is not rooted and does not have a foundation. Now,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
may not be where I'm at, right? He may not be where I'm at, but
Pray for them.
he at least needs to be in the vein with me. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
dating. Now, marriage is a whole different thing, and that's not the topic
Yeah.
tonight, so I'm not going there. Amen.
My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. We was talking about a bunch of stuff, so I was like, yeah,
No,
I
sis.
I, I agree. I agree. It's not. It didn't work for me with him
Yeah.
because he wasn't into going to church
Right.
like that. So me
I kicked
dragging,
that man
even
to the
praying for
curb.
him, that didn't work.
I
I
kicked that
currently
young man to the curb. The one that did not want to be. Bye.
That's
No,
good.
ma'am.
I'm
I'm
currently
currently
dating
dating, and I asked that question first. I will not entertain anyone who does not have a relationship with God. That part.
that part.
That's it.
That's
And
a
that's a
amazing question.
non-negotiable. That's
Yes,
a non-negotiable. Like,
yes,
you gotta know this stuff right off bat. You can't be thinking about it and entertaining certain things because, like, it just makes things even more complicated.
yes.
So that part.
I
I'm
agree.
sorry, Tasha, you wanted to.
No, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think I was commenting to anything.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Everybody was making their rounds.
Oh, I think it was. Oh, yeah, the question that she was talking about: if you grow faster than your partner,
Mm-hmm.
um, in dating, I think it's just y'all just dating. I mean, it ain't nothing that you gotta be like committed to life for. So it's like now, I
Right.
think in marriage though, that's a different story. But I think in just in dating, I don't want to. I done that, and I would never ever ever wish anybody to do that ever in their life while dating. Be with someone who loves God, who knows God, who's trying to grow. Even if you grow faster than them, you just keep praying for them, you keep encouraging them, you keep walking with them, because everybody don't advance at the same time. Your call may be
Exactly.
different. Your call may be different on your life. Their call may just
Oh,
be to be a support to you, as you never know. I don't know. But you
right,
may be called to minister and they may just be called to be the husband or the wife.
right. I
So
want to
you
speak.
never know.
I definitely want to speak to that. I'm gonna read a few of these comments because that's another question. My mom in love is on here with the family. Hey y'all, shout out to y'all for watching us.
Hey.
She said, when dating, very important to watch out for red flags. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Um, I don't wanna slander her name, but Miss Barron said right. Apostle Tony said dating is getting to know each other without crossing the line. Absolutely. Real quick, while we're talking about you just touched surface with it, Tasha. How important? Well, you basically said how important was in so many words, but like for you knowing what you know now, how important is it for you to know your purpose and making sure that your spouse is aligned with your purpose, or that your purposes align with each other? Because yeah, you hit on it.
You know what? Look, you really, it's very important. You really got to make sure that y'all are in alignment with each other, and first off, in alignment with God. Like I think Tremaine talked about, if you dragging them to church, it's not gonna work. It's not a good feeling, and then eventually you end up having resentment. There's so many different things that start settling in, and then you start settling, and now y'all in a 10-year relationship and no commitment, no nothing. You done backslid and all type of stuff. But I think that for us as women, um the man being a follower of Christ is so powerful, because as the head, he really leads you into your calling more and into your following more, I believe. And so it's very important to have somebody, because it helps you to step into your purpose the way that God desires for you to step into your purpose. I think if you're dating someone.
I agree.
Yeah.
Y- y'all have any
I agree.
feedback?
She did it, boo.
The thing is, you gotta like men. For what I would tell, I can only speak like what I would tell my daughter. Like a man has to have a vision for you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like a man has to show you that he has vision, in order for you to understand whether or not he would be a good fit for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the man's vision, and it's the woman that's supposed to help him carry out that vision, right?
Right.
The man is supposed to lead you. You're not supposed to have a problem with following, your man. So for me, these are things that I feel like need to be discussed and need to be talked about while dating. What is your
Yes.
vision? What is your purpose? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? We be very superficial. Like for instance, I was talking to a young lady today, and she was like, he know I love food, and when we first started talking, he used to always be like, you hungry, you want something to eat? I'm like, and that's it. I can feed myself.
No connection.
Like, what are we talking about here? Or she was like, he just used to always check in with me, and and I'm like, this is real surface, low level type stuff. Like, no. What else
Yeah.
did he do? What else was he talking about? Because this don't sound like nothing to me. All I hear is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we got to get away from, like we were talking earlier, we got to get away from the Disney channels, the movies, the social media, throw all that stuff away and really go a little deeper into, what you want your life to be, because you're going to be with a person, and you want to make sure that you're going to be able to live out the way that you want your life to be with that person,
I agree. No, that makes sense to me.
Read the comment that
Maxie says sometimes people find their purpose late. Would you date someone who does not know their purpose, what their purpose is? Me, absolutely not. I wouldn't say not date them. Like, okay, so if we're dating and you tell me that you don't know what your purpose is, okay, let's seek to find that. And if you're choosing to not really focus on that, then you're not a potential, you're not in the starting five.
It's still a yes, but it's the conversation of, do you want to find your purpose? How can we help you along to find your purpose? Those questions need to be asked. It's not necessarily a hard no. We can't be out here talking about he don't know his purpose.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You running right across your husband, boo-boo kitty. You better slow it down. And ask some more questions. Hold on, I need clarification. Can I get some clarification here?
Right. But I think that shows your potential as a wife as well. When you do something like that, that's very valuable. You help a man know what their purpose is. That's valuable.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, sorry, y'all. But yes,
I also agree. I agree with LaDena. Definitely, just it's a yes, but it's like we can do it together, and I mean, because I just really gotten into really knowing what my purpose is just a couple years ago. So it's like,
right.
And I still be feeling like my assignment be changing sometimes. Like God will be shifting me, so it changes sometimes too. I think. Well, I won't say like your purpose changes, but your assignment changes.
Right.
Yeah. I agree with y'all.
Thing to add? I'm sorry.
I agree. I feel like it's not as serious when you're dating. Like you can maybe y'all connected to help that person find their purpose, even if they not your potential husband or wife. So I feel like it should be put on the table. Like let me help you find. Let's work on it together and see what it might lead to. So I'm in agreement with y'all.
It's not a deal breaker though. I won't say it's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
I guess I was starting to speak off from experience. And it's like, but I didn't know how to handle that well. But now that I know, but I'm married now, but like now that I know that I would, advise for that young lady to help. Because if not, then it ain't going.
I think sometimes like we kind of it's kind of like almost, we got to be kind of like, we got to be careful, because I feel like when you're a Christian woman, right, and you're dating, you probably like have these holier than thou like standards. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you just made somebody come in my mind.
I want to do that because he don't know the whole revelations. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you being so deep? Like, slow it down. And I just feel like you can be the light, right? There may be men out here that know God, love God, and they may be saved, right? But they may not be in the same place that you are. You may come along in that man's life and be the light, and he may see how you're moving in Christ, and that might encourage him to draw closer. We can't forget that we're the light, that God has called us to be the light of this world. So the goal that the Lord has set for us is that we are created in his likeness and in his image. When people see us, they are to see him, right? So a lot of us women, we be having so many stank attitudes because we're Christian. Oh, he got to love God. If he don't love God, what's wrong with him? Can't do all that. Like,
Lord,
slow it down. Slow it down. Have conversations. Date. Things change quickly just by the way we carry ourselves as Christian and kingdom women. You know, I think sometimes we be kind of up here, and we need to come down a little bit and chill and just understand this is a process,
I think a lot of women that do that too. I feel like, you know how like men that are not in Christ, that are not like, they hurt men just as well as like a regular man just, messing with a lot of females. Like, that's hurt too.
Yeah.
And woo child, yeah. Yeah.
Kitty.
Yes. So as far as in dating, like, because it's different scenarios, it's different things that's going on. How long is too long for the dating period? Or do you just like, you're moved by God with that?
2 years. I'm just throwing something out there. 2
Yeah,
years.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I think 2 years is definitely enough time for a man to make up his mind if he want to be with you or not. Eve said there's a thin line as well because there are men who have no idea what their purpose is and they will take you on that road with no direction. Yeah,
That's the
that's
scary
true.
part.
Yeah, that's
That's the
very true.
scary part.
That's true
That's very
too.
scary. That's very,
Definitely.
very
But
scary.
I think that's also like,
It depends on the person.
yeah, it's definitely a thin line for sure. Sonny, what you doing?
Yeah. But
I don't believe in all them timelines and stuff. I just don't believe in it. I believe
okay.
a man know, and a man will tell you if he know. I believe a woman knows. Like, I don't know. I guess lately, I've just been real rebellious over like all this cliche stuff and all this stuff that they didn't try to program us to do. Like, I feel like, look, some people may date because they may date for a lengthier period of time because they have their own specific reasons. A lot of men, we have to remember, are very caught up on making sure that they are set and they have everything in order before they move. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're trying to string you along for a certain period of time, but men are very prideful. They have, pride and want to make sure they got X, Y, and Z lined up before they move forward in marriage. So I don't see that as something being wrong if they do choose to wait. I mean, I just feel like it's up to whoever.
But is there a conversation, or is it just we just dating and we don't have
Well, no, in my example, I'm sure there will have to have been some conversation. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
because I'm
saying?
not waiting 18 years.
Yeah, I don't think it's nobody. I'm not saying like if you just chilling and ain't nobody talking about marriage at all, and y'all just doing y'all thing. I feel like yeah, because you better not do that, girl. But in the example that I'm giving, I just feel like, yeah, there probably is some conversation, and he would also probably be mature enough to say, babe, I want to have XYZ in order. A man, not a boy, Tasha. A
There
man.
you go.
A man.
I'm
Tasha, like, I don't know.
I'm just saying. No, but the reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen relationships. I've even been in a relationship where, I was with a man for multiple years, and that just wasn't, that just wasn't what we did. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all talk about it though?
No, not really.
See, that's
No.
what I'm saying. Y'all didn't talk about it.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying because from my experience, there is also somebody else in that situation right now in a relationship that they have not spoken about it. They have not talked about it. They don't know. So it's like, what I'm saying is, if you're in a situation and there is no goals, or marriage is not the goal or the direct path, then I think that you have to give yourself a time frame. As if this man don't marry me within this time frame.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you. I'm sorry.
And I'm just saying, just from my experience, because my husband, when we got together, when me and my husband when we got together, it was like that was our goal. Was to be married, was to marry each other, was to be that for each other.
I believe what you're saying, Eve.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read these comments real quick. Rosetta said, "Good evening, my sister. I'm loving this topic." And you said her name is Eva?
No, it's
You
Eve.
can call her
You
Eve.
can call her
Oh,
Eve,
Eve.
or it's Avancia.
Okay, Evancia. Men know if they want to be with a woman without 6 months.
Within 6 months. Yep, that's
Within
true.
6 months, I'm sorry. I believe they would string you along if you let them.
That's
I
true.
agree. That's very true. I've heard men say that.
That's so
Some men,
true.
but
That's
to each his own. To each his own. But I definitely
Right.
think that's
Yeah.
I do agree, and definitely for sure. I think men could be more transparent. I do feel as if you are the woman that I'm going to marry. Right now, I would like to get XYZ done. You know, I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
that, like you said, communication is key.
Mhm.
And yeah, for sure,
But I
for sure.
also think that men have they don't really have, there's not really that many men. Sorry y'all, my son in the background.
No, you
They,
okay?
I don't think that men have, a lot of men have really healthy examples in their lives of marriages.
Mm,
Also, the simple fact, a lot of men don't have men saying like, this what you should do, you should aspire to be a husband. Where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times as girls or young girls and women, we aspire to be wives, and men, they don't want to be husbands. So
That's so
And
even
good.
because
listen,
earlier
that's
one of the guys said that they wasn't thinking about getting married. My husband actually wasn't thinking about getting married. And
mm-hmm. Mine too.
and then when we met and we got together, it was like after 2 weeks, he was like,
You're
yeah,
so
I
in
can see you
love.
being my wife.
that is a
Like,
topic. That's a
you know,
topic by itself. That's
I
a
can see you being
like
my
Mm,
wife.
they prepare us in church to be wives, but I don't think they prepare the men to be husbands.
They
And then
don't.
mm,
I
Absolutely.
don't feel like they do.
They don't.
I don't feel like they
mm,
don't. And then we getting prepared at home from Disney, right? Oh, you have to be this and that, and you get
mm-hmm.
married and happily ever after. But then that's why women we grow up and we're ready and we're equipped, and then they're not. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother
Because
day. I
them
don't know
men
why.
ain't watching Disney Channel talking about some, I want to be the prince. Not
Right.
Listen,
doing that.
Come and get
listen.
my queen.
I'm going to
Yeah,
find the slipper. Not
they not
doing
preparing.
But I think that has something to do with responsibilities, though. But that ties into, yeah. I never even thought of it like that. That's
That's
a
a good,
big
that
topic.
was good.
But
Yeah.
it's also, I think, also commitment. The
Yeah.
commitment,
Mm,
the issue that some men have with commitment.
Due to
So
being
yeah,
in
I think
single
that's
mother
what,
homes, possibly. Ooh, Lord, that's a subject. We need to talk about that.
lack
you
of
said. What?
control, all of that.
I said some of them, due to being raised in home with single mothers, can affect like their commitment issues.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
that can be another topic for another day.
yes.
Absolutely, absolutely,
I
I
think
agree.
it's time for us to bring some men on, Shonte. I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
next week, tell Drees to pipe up and get
Y'all
ready.
know y'all gonna hype this man up. He is ready.
And he
Get
gonna be
ready.
ready.
Tell Drees I said, get ready. Because we calling him to the carpet.
You hear that,
Yes.
husband? I know you watching.
We
You
watch
hear that?
he was like, yep, it's on. It's
Yep.
on.
Y'all already know he is ready for it. But I think, yeah, because like to have that different shift of, perspective is great. It's
Yeah,
great.
I love
And
it.
I'll see if my husband want to come on. He probably, I don't know. Y'all know he like to play the background, so I don't know. He might be like, I don't know about that, but I'll see if he want to come on.
Ask
okay.
Theo if he want to come on. We're going to have him come on if he ready.
He'll be ready.
Yes. I love it. I
I'm
love
So
excited.
it.
we gonna put it together. We're gonna bring some men on the show. We're gonna have a whole dialogue. I think it would be really good.
So part
Yeah.
2 of this conversation.
Yeah.
Part 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We appreciate for all the love and all the comments. We appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week for the next topic. We love you guys, and until next time, y'all be blessed.
Oh wait,
Oh,
before we go, we got a
oh,
commercial.
we got a commercial.
We
We
got a
got a
commercial, and we're gonna play this commercial. But I just want to say this first before we play the commercial. Don't play with my cousin.
period.
Don't
Period.
play with my cousin. She's sending out packages with her stickers on it, with her books on it. She is a third time self-published author.
Whoop,
Yes,
whoop, whoop,
What they
whoop,
say in
whoop.
her book release,
y'all
they
stay
said three
tuned.
books shoddy. Three books
Y'all stay
shoddy.
tuned and go ahead and cop this new this new, you dig, the trilogy. Go ahead
Yes.
and get your book.
Snap, 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 snap.
Absolutely. Let's go, Maxie. Oh, there was another comment. Eve said, "Thank you all for having this conversation. Single women need to listen to this." That's it.
Period.
Thank
Share
you.
this
Go
live.
follow
Share
us.
this.
Go follow the podcast. We're on all podcast platforms. We would love to have you subscribe.
Good night, y'all.
Hey Dreamers, my name is Maxie E. Norman, owner of Eleanor Maxwell LLC. I'm a broadcast media manager and show producer. I'm also a podcaster of a show called the Regina Kids Podcast, and I'm a 3-time self-published author. You heard me, 3 times self-published author. My first book, On My Broken Crayon Still Color, daily affirmation book, and a journal was wrote to motivate and encourage. My second book, Love You More, Grieving Isn't Easy and Healing Hurts, is about the 5 stages of grief and how to jumpstart your process of healing. My new book, the trilogy, I Am Not Responsible for Your Tears, is the authentic guide to being happy. And it's about getting those 7 steps to being fully happy. All my books are available now on Amazon. And as always, we'll continue to glow through whatever it is we're going through.